Hello, you absolute legends. Some introduction and basics to types of covalent bonds. Sigma and pi bonds are specific varieties of covalent bonds. Covalent bonds are a sharing of two electrons between atoms. So a similarity between sigma and pi bonds is that they're both covalent bonds. They both contain dose electrons. They differ in the geometry or spatial orientation of those electrons. So we have to have two atoms, and we'll show how the electrons are geographically different in a sigma and a pi bond. So to represent an atom, I'm just going to put a letter A here, and then to represent another atom, I'm just going to put another A right here. This could be anything. This could be hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, nitrogen. I'm just going to put an A and A right here. Okay. Now for dots. Okay. Now this dotted line right here is the imaginary line in between the two atoms. Okay. It doesn't, nothing exists there. It's just imaginary line, just a straight line right here. A sigma bond is characterized because the electrons are on this axis. Okay, they spend a majority of their time in between, directly in between the two atoms right there. I have two dots drawn for two electrons. I just drew them on that line right there arbitrarily. Meaning that, you know, the electrons are directly in between the nuclei holding it together. A sigma bond is always, a sigma bond is the first covalent bond formed. It is symboled with a lowercase Greek sigma. It's like a letter, a lowercase o with just a straight line coming off of it. It's the first bond formed. Its symbol is given with this right here. It contains two electrons. It's a covalent bond. Those are some characteristics of a sigma bond. Let's talk about a pi bond. Now, a pi bond is similar but different. A pi bond is the second type of bond formed. So if two elements have a covalent bond in between them, the first one will be a sigma bond. It is the stronger of this pair right here. The second bond that's formed in between two atoms is called a pi bond. It's the second. It is the second and third type of covalent bond that's formed between atoms. It's symboled with the Greek letter, probably one right there. It's symboled with the Greek letter that you see when doing geometry and finding the area of a circle and stuff like that, or a sphere, letter pi, Greek lowercase pi. It contains two electrons, and I haven't drawn those electrons on there right there. So a pi bond is signified because those electrons spend their time above and below the axis right here. So those, I'm going to draw, for the sake of art, I'm going to draw one electron up here and one electron down there. Now, what I want to contrast is that these electrons for a pi bond are above and or below this orange dotted line, this internuclear axis. Now, I drew the two electrons above and below. I could have drawn one up top, could have drawn two at the bottom, and that would be another way of trying to show a pi bond, where there's two electrons and then are above and below the internuclear axis. I hope that helps. Thank you.